You're watching WGAL News 8.
The CDC says more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness or disorder at some point in their lives. But mental illness still has a stigma.
A woman in Lancaster County who had been diagnosed with 2 mental health disorders wants people to know it's okay to ask for help. News 8's Susan Shapiro has her story.
It was very scary, very traumatic.
Tanya Ruhl has vivid memories of an armed robbery in 2013.
It was 2 men in ski masks.
Those men forced her to open the safe at this wine gallery where she was the manager.
They told me they weren't there to hurt me, that they were only there to get what was owed, which just that phrase stuck with me all these years.
Tanya returned to work after the robbery thinking she was fine and resilient. But she says about 6 months later, something just snapped.
I don't know what, but something snapped and I locked myself in this house. I didn't go anywhere.
The mother of 3 stayed there for 6 months. It took a toll on her daughter, who was 12 at the time.
I didn't get to see my mom being a mom that I was used to seeing.
Tanya finally got help and was diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. She had been diagnosed years earlier with bipolar disorder.
It was actually because of years of trauma that I have always experienced and had never dealt with.
The experience of trauma is very widespread.
Clinical specialist Tom Longenecker of Retreat Behavioral Health says trauma can take away a sense of power.
So anything we can do to build capacity, build their understanding and ability to act out their own lives and be agents in their own lives, that's healing. That's very healing.
Tanya, who now works at Retreat, went through prolonged exposure therapy, focusing on the early trauma. She still gets counseling when needed and takes a number of medications.
And I want people to know that it's okay to ask for help because it doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're a fighter.
Susan Shapiro, WGAL News 8.
Susan will share more of Tanya's story and speak to a counselor Saturday night at 7 o'clock on WGAL News 8 in Focus. And a special chronicle, The War Within, will air Sunday at 12:30 on WGAL. 4 people will share their stories of living with mental illness and how they've been able to cope with it.